Welcome to Leaseweb Tech Talk, the podcast exploring tech landscape, cloud hosting, and IT infrastructure. Whether you're a professional or new to tech, Leaseweb Tech Talk got you covered. Join us for latest trend, business cases, insightful interviews, and useful tips. Welcome to Leaseweb Tech Talk. Myself, Pamily Zanon. Today, I'm back with Gabriele, Product Manager of Cloud Storage here at Leaseweb. Today, we will look in depth into file storage. So to start with, Gabriele, I want to understand file storage a little bit better because I think that's the most common storage term we hear these days. So if you can explain file storage to begin with.
Absolutely. File storage is probably the most common architecture that is in use today for a very simple reason. First of all, it's the most compatible. File storage is pretty much accepted by any operating system today. It's very easy to use because it has a structure that is easy to understand for everyone. Imagine file storage as your file cabinet, okay? You have your big file cabinet, which has a lot of drawers. So your cabinet is your hard drive, your drawers are your folders, and then you have dividers inside the drawers as subfolders. So file storage follows exactly the same principle with folders and subfolders. So finding an element is very easy because you just have to follow the path and you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. It's extremely compatible because it's accepted by pretty much any file system today. By file system, which means a data structure that is compatible with the operating system. To mention a few of the most famous, we have FAT, file allocation table. We have an NTFS, which is used by Windows. The very first one was the Unix file system used by Linux. Today we use ext4. Then we have HFS Plus, which is used by Macintosh. And each one of these file systems can easily, they're compatible with file storage. A most common use case for file storage is for sure the NAS, or network attached storage. This is, we can see many of these elements pretty much everywhere, and that's perfect for small and medium business. We can.
But is it also cost friendly? Because we see it's a very common used storage. And when you mention small and medium enterprise, is it because it's also a cheaper option?
So it depends on how much capacity do you need.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day when the hard drives were very, very, very small, you needed a big size and costly NAS in order to serve your small and medium enterprise. But today, with the increase in volumes and the increase in connectivity, you can request for a much lower price.
Yeah.
So that's the main advantage. However, despite this being easy to use and compatible with pretty much everything, it's not without challenges. Now, because you have a structured data with folders and subfolders, as this multiplies over time, so you have a bigger amount of files and folder. Imagine navigating a whole room full of file cabinets. It's going to take time for you to find the correct element that you need. That's why indexing is extremely important, and it takes more and more time as your the amount of material inside your storage grows. So because of this, you can have performance problems, and you can have also scalability problems, because it's not as intuitive as to scale up a block storage, for example, or an object storage, which are in which case they are much more efficient in terms of scalability. In that case, you cannot easily add space to a file storage. You usually need to add a completely separated volume if you want to add more capacity. On top of that, file storage is not meant for quick replication. So you might want to schedule regular backups in a separated media if you want to keep your data safe. File storage also can suffer from cyber attacks. So you need to be prepared with with your security systems. You need to be prepared with your access control, because it's very easy to mismanage these kind of elements, so to give unauthorized access to certain elements inside your company when you utilize a network attached storage. So these elements are very important, needs to be taken into consideration when you're managing file storage at any level.
Yeah, as you already mentioned, some setbacks and some setbacks with file storage that a company might face. I want to understand, especially also for the listeners, what are the top advantages and challenges someone should consider before choosing file storage?
Well, the primary use case that you're going to utilize file storage for is, of course, collaboration. If you are a company where you need to access the same file simultaneously, for example, you are editing the same document, the same Word file or the same Excel file at the same time with multiple people, then you need to consider file storage. Also, if the file storage is relatively cheap, if you don't need extremely high amount of data, in which case you might want to use object storage for that, and you have a collaborative environment where multiple people need to access the same media at the same time, and this media is not a database or it's not a virtual machine, that's the case for block storage, then file storage is meant for you.
Okay. And what are the challenges they should keep in mind before opting for such type of storage?
Like I said before, security, scalability, like I said, and performance, because like I said a moment ago, the more you grow with your file storage, the more this will suffer with performance loss, and you will also suffer. Consequently, it will be slow in searching your material. It will be slower in copying and retrieving your data.
You mentioned something about security. It has less security. So if someone who is in budget and small, medium enterprise, they want to opt for file storage, how can they make sure that their file storage is secured? Like, is there some alternative or some sort of some product they can use? It can be DDoS protection or something else.
There are countless ways that you can protect your media, but you need to start at the basics on the part of the security, but where we could talk for hours on the part of the security. But of course, the very first thing you need to do is to check your access control list. You need to be sure that only authorized people can access the specific material you want them to access. And what's even more important, of course, if your NAS is connected to the public network, you need to set up a firewall, you need to set up further access control.
Okay. It's great that you have mentioned, you have already given our listeners some use cases, some advantages, challenges. If you can also shed some light upon the architectural design, like how tough it is to integrate to the system of the business, or how they can do it, if you can provide some insight to that.
That's one of the simplest things to do, because network attached storage today is accepted by the majority of the operating systems on the market, and also supports the majority of the protocols, because you of course need a protocol in order to share material on the network, like from SMB, CIFS, NFS, FTP, and so on. And then a network attached storage usually supports all of them with ease. So that's why you should not encounter any difficulty when you set up your network attached storage. It doesn't require a specific level of expertise that instead can be required when you are managing block and object.
Okay, thank you, Gabriele, for all the insights you have shared. So before we conclude this segment of file storage, what is one best tip you want to give to the listener before they really opt for the file storage?
File storage is the best way to start when you have a small entity.
Maybe startups?
For startups, it's absolutely ideal. The previous episode we discussed about the content creators who need to manage data, and they're usually alone, and so they use direct attached storage, but maybe they arrive at home and they want to have a network attached storage, maybe of bigger capacity, where they store the majority of their footage they want to keep for their project. So individual companies, small and medium business may benefit of absolutely will benefit from file storage, and of course this also works as a cloud solution, because you can open your file storage on the cloud, with of course be careful on the security side.
Thank you, Gabriele, for sharing all your expert knowledge here. I'm pretty sure the listeners have enjoyed this segment as well. Thank you again. Thank you for tuning in, listeners, and stay tuned for our next episode, where we are diving deep into block storage and for exciting content. We hope you found this episode insightful. For more content, like, share, and subscribe. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at leaseweb.com/newsletter.